Broadcasting live from the mixed up worlds of Zebes and Hyrule, I guess. This is the Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Tournament here on Speed Gaming. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is N. Diaz. N. Diaz, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing, Dr. Bob?
Doing pretty well. Looks like we have gone ahead and gotten started already. We get bombs in the first chest of Link's house. So today we've got Elminster versus MetroidMst. Elminster, of course, I believe won the last 1v1 tournament anyone ever did. So is pretty good at this game. I haven't heard much from MetroidMst, but it should be pretty good to watch.
Yeah, I think these two are going to give us a nice show today. This is actually the last, I think this is the last race of round one. So after everybody's kind of waiting to see the results of this so they know who they have to face in the next round.
That is the case. All right. So MetroidMst going up for tree pulls and the lumberjack check, while Elminster is going to forego the lumberjack check for now. Ooh. We got 20 rupees on the crab and a free heart in the Lost Woods hideout.
This seed has been pretty nice so far. They got bombs and money already.
All right, just bombs on the lumberjack tree, so
wow,
no real reason to go to Aga just yet.
The tree pull and the bugs had money, so both of these players are doing just fine.
Oh yeah, so the difference here is MST actually pulled the tree and got hearts. I believe MST had not taken damage and Elminster had, because for some reason the combo randomizer, when you first enter Legend of Zelda, you're primed with a tier 3 tree pull, which if you take damage gets downgraded to a tier 2. All right, piece of heart and 300 rupees, as well as a hammer.
Early hammer. Oh my god.
All right, hammer time it is, and a moon pearl. That's 2 out of 3 for that good old-fashioned Dark World access.
Yeah, gotta get that Dark World access before 10 minutes is through.
So the two items that are the most useful for the purposes of unlocking stuff are those moon pearls, are the moon pearl and the morph ball, basically the 2 round items. Hey, there's that glove.
Wow, they could go Dark World before finishing Kakariko. Just like go from the well straight to Thieves Town. Just
seems good. Oh, I apologize. Am I loud? And we've got the Spazer in the chicken hut, so a little bit more firepower. Not like the item that everyone's waiting for, but still, nothing. It's not awful.
I like Spazer. That's a good beam upgrade right there. Got so much area. People give it a lot of flack, but it's worth it, you know?
All right. Yeah, it's certainly worth having, especially if you don't have plasma on hand. All right, so it looks like Elminster is about to follow that strategy you were talking about. After picking up just the last few things here in CAC, he's going straight to Village of Outcasts.
And
We are getting a map check. Sorry.
Oh, I missed.
We already had the map check apparently. Yeah, crystals everywhere with a 5/6 up on Hera.
Something I noticed from Elm's play right now is just how willing he is to cut corners. Like, he didn't check the lumberjack, like the Aga item, and he skipped out on the items right below Kakariko just to get that extra pull ahead.
Yeah, that stuff, I guess you figure you can sort of route that in if you get the mirror and you're going to check like the digging game and stuff. So that's another possibility. We see super missiles on the library, which, you know, my personal philosophy is I'm never turning down super missiles if I can get them. But unfortunately, no boots right now. Well, there's some in Skull Woods. And our race game today has just a missile upgrade, which MetroidMst is not even going to bother with. So it looks like we're going to have a pretty strong divergence in route here. Elminster going for the early Dark World play, which was possible thanks to the just ridiculous amount of items in Kakariko Village, and Metroid is going to go ahead and take care of the escape sequence here. Oh! Was that an ice rod? Looked like an ice rod.
That looked like an ice rod. That is not a bad weapon to have. When all you've got is a hammer and an ice rod. Link as a battle mage. Right there.
Seems legit.
Oh, yeah. We'll see if the Hyrule Castle play works out for Metroid.
So, nothing in the uncle's home. I just call it the uncle's home because he lives there now.
He's not going anywhere.
I hope he brought us Snickers. Anyway. Sorry. Alright, so Elminster heading now into the Village of Outcasts. 3 items outside of Thieves Town, plus, you know, the contents of Thieves Town. And MetroidMst finds a heart in the first chest of escape. I missed what Elminster got there.
I believe it was just arrows.
Well, good. Wasn't anything important.
Hey, those were his first arrows.
True. Hey, an energy tank. You're always going to want some number of those. I don't know anybody who could beat the game on 1 energy tank. I'm pretty sure it's not even possible. Like, I think you need 3.
Yes. Yeah, you need 3 just to live at the end. But until then, as long as you're good. This is a very spooky Thieves Town situation for Elm. Oh.
Yep, he basically jumped down, took the death. I'm going to assume intentionally, just to get the hearts back up. And 50 rupees for a MetroidMst in Zelda's cell. Another energy tank.
Some South Shore now for MetroidMst.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. So we're just getting this, you know, very strong divergence from both players here. All right, another missile for Elminster. 2 items so far in the front of Thieves Town. We know that one of them is going to be the big key, but the other one could be basically anything.
Elm over here playing OKO.
Oh boy. Alright, big 20 in the chest. That's 3 items here in Thieves Town in the front, so we're not going to expect much of importance there in the back of Thieves Town. Elminster is taking another intentional death here. I don't know if he's going to peace out or if he's just going to... Yeah, he's taken off. He's not really interested in doing 4-heart blind right now.
4-heart blind with a hammer.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't inverted mode. Where that can sometimes be required. Just fun? For some value of the word fun?
Fun, question mark?
Oh, and MetroidMst busting out B-strats. Elminster digging up the energy tank on the second dig. So that's 3 energy tanks. That's all we need, right?
Yeah, he's good. Now he's going to go finish Super Metroid.
Probably needs a morph ball first.
Ooh, a flute.
All right, the flute and the Titan's mitts. Wow. Anybody else smell a lot of Death Mountain coming off of this seed? Super missiles on Stumpsman over there. It looks like Elminster's going to go for that hype cave.
I think Elm may have taken the bait from this seed, and he got tricked into Dark World without any real progression there.
So I just noticed that MetroidMst has not opened the chest in the Sanctuary. He walked out of the Sanctuary, and the chest was closed.
Interesting. Maybe that's his time save right there.
Yeah, it's possible. Like, he's coming down in here. I guess if he doesn't, like, if he finds the map down here, he'll probably open that chest. We got a glove, super missiles, a bottle, and missiles, as well as a mirror over on Metroid's side, over in the back of Escape.
All Elm got was a shovel.
So I think Metroid has just come to the conclusion, like, quite fortunately, that the remaining 2 chests in the Escape are the map and the small key.
Isn't that nice when everything just works out like that?
Alright, so MetroidMst gonna go ahead and activate the flute. So everyone say hi to today's favorite swag duck. And MetroidMst will be joining, or will be following in the footsteps of Elminster. Now the good news is he's got a few more hearts, or 1 more heart.
So maybe he'll take that chance in Thieves Town.
It's quite possible. And Elminster also doing the escape play, much like MST did a moment ago. We know there's nothing of real importance down here.
I was kind of hoping that MetroidMst would take that flute and fly over to the desert area, because that's a quick way to get those checks done. Because Agina is usually pretty out of the way.
Oh yeah, and with the mirror, there might be just like something super important over at the checkerboard cave, which is rare, and also you get desert out of it too, though it's unlikely you'll be able to complete desert.
Well, not quite yet. We can't mirror from the side he'd be on with the flute. Wait, no, you're exactly. Never mind. For some reason, I was like, we don't have Titans yet. It's only 15 minutes, but we do.
We do. We
Oh
have
my
the
God.
Titans minutes. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I was like, wait a second, that happens later.
Morph ball at checkerboard cave, anybody?
At least this isn't a hard mode seed, so that won't be after a lava dive.
That is true. Oh, there's the map. So there is still something in the dark escape chest here. And Elminster's going for it. Quite an interesting play with no light source and, nothing that's really great at letting you know where you are. A bomb is decent, like it stays in one place. Unfortunately, Elminster killed a rat, but it doesn't look like he killed the right one.
Just swinging around in the dark with a hammer, trying to hit a small, fast-moving target.
Yeah. I'm not going to say I haven't done this in real life.
Uh-oh.
Because I might have. Now, one unfortunate thing here is I think MST is about to try to go do the digging game while he has the chest in tow. This is not going to work like he wants it to.
That chest is just not cooperative.
And you can't just leave it laying around and go get it. You actually have to lose the chest if you want to get digging game.
If only you could do that, that would make this route so much more efficient.
That's why you see a lot of people go south from Village of Outcasts, do the digging game, and then lift the rock to go back up and rescue the blacksmith. +5 arrow upgrades. Upgrades are a nice little lost thing that I haven't seen in a while since the advent of V30 in the normal randomizer.
Oh no, Elm found 3 bombs in Dark Cross.
Yeah,
all that time spent roaming in the dark.
Yeah, quite a bit of a time waste for that.
He didn't even get back the bombs he invested in finding the bombs. Oh no.
Alright, so it does look like Elminster's gonna go for the South Shore play, which will get him the flute and the... He's already got the mirror. Meanwhile, we'll get to see what's in the purple chest. It is a big 20.
What a nice guy. $20 reward for returning his lunchbox.
Sometimes a man's gotta eat.
Yep.
And Metroid should be heading for Hype Cave to get those wonderful items, including an additional bottle and a shovel.
We'll get to see if Hype Cave is hype today. No, we already saw this.
We get the shovel and some supers and a bottle and some not so supers. That being said, again, I'm never turning down supers. Because I don't really feel comfortable until I have about 70 of them. Which would be a bad thing for me if I ever tried to run the normal game.
Elm deciding to save his bee. He's keeping that bee for something else. Probably defend him on the way to Ice Rod
strats. And Elm gets a heart refill with that piece of heart. Oh yeah, the Titan's mitts were also in here. That's the thing I'm missing.
You called Death Mountain quite a while ago, but nobody's taking you up on that.
I mean, I'm smelling Death Mountain a mile away. I think the first progression, though, is going to be like at high jump boots. Or, you know, right outside. Which I think is in logic without morph.
Yep, just that first item up there, if you can get to the mountain. They can flute up there, go to that high jump spot. That is the only one in this logic that's available right now.
But yeah, there's Paradox Cave, there's Tower of Hera, all sorts of glorious things. And Elminster also activates the Swag Duck, and Metroid is going to go over to Ice Rod Cave. Whereas Elminster is going directly for Death Mountain. Looked like he was about to head straight up the mountain, but decided to turn around and go rescue the old man first. Alright, just missiles over at Ice Rod Cave. And looks like MST is about to flute away as well. That play towards Death Mountain seeming pretty good. Really for both players right now. Oh, he's fluting to 8 here. Looks like a fake flipper might be in order. Alright, Elminster taking a dip into Super Metroid. Here into the Business Center, I believe is what it's called.
Yep, the main thoroughfare of this bustling metropolis.
And we get a reserve tank. So not that progression I was talking about, that's for sure. And he did miss killing the oh goodness, what are those things called?
I think they're mock droids.
Nah, the mock droids are the ones. Yeah, the ones that look
more
like
dangerous
Metroids.
ones.
Anyways, you have to kill the enemy in that room to open the door, and if you can't do that before he runs away, then you gotta wait on it. That is a energy tank in the Crocomire Escape, which means no real reason to head up that direction. Nova. Okay, thank you. Chat. Ice Beam up on top of Spectacle Rock. Hello.
And Cape?
Yeah, Cape.
Two very nice to have items.
So, no, okay. I was trying to think of what Ice Beam did right now. And the answer is nothing.
In this logic, it really doesn't do much, but it is very nice for getting that that one clip to get through Meridia later.
Oh, like the Metroid clip you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. It could be logic for upper Norfair access too, if they find Varia. So you could freeze one of the monsters to jump on up in there.
All right. Elminster gets the big key of Hera and takes a death, which is, I'm sure, just fine by him. He was on 1 heart anyway. I should really, really learn how to do the Zeb skip thing. Speaking of Ice Beam.
It's a fun one. That's a skip that is very enjoyable to do once you know how to do it. We're getting a lot of sync going on. You can see that I think at this point they've done the same checks as each other. And so that difference in where they are is an execution difference and a small routing difference. So it's a very close race right now.
All right, Elminster taking down Moldorm. He's got a crystal for sure. And the small key, which means... Wait, Elminster, what are you doing?
So Momomo in chat is asking, is Spike Cave in logic? Yes, it is. I don't think we saw Elm grab that cape though. He left it behind.
Yeah. It's possible. I imagine he thinks, if I'm gonna go to Spike Cave, the cape is right there, I'm just gonna get it then. So I understood the play that Elm did there because he skipped the big chest. He jumped down to check the big chest in case it was the second item, so that way he wouldn't have to go down to the basement. But guess what? Oh, he's skipping the basement anyway.
Mostly because he does not have the way to light it right now, right?
Yep, that is true. That's a thing. Alright, 300 rupees on the floating island. Still nothing particularly great at the moment. Gonna get that spiral cave check.
Oh, no.
And MetroidMst just takes a fall into the worst possible spot for Trolldorm.
This is the first time I've ever seen it where Trolldorm did nothing wrong. It was all on Metroid.
I mean, yeah, you can't really, Moldorm didn't jump in his way or knock him off, but, I could see how that mistake can get made, and it's never fun. All right, so power bombs we find in Spiral Cave. Have we seen power bombs yet?
I believe we did.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So 10 power bombs is about when I start to feel comfortable.
Elm is trying to spend the most amount of time in the seed with only 1 heart.
And we've got a book for Elminster. Now that doesn't grant them access to desert because they already had access to desert. But it does grant them access to at least knowledge of what the tablets are. We're still missing swords. every single sword in like Lower Norfair.
And I'm guessing from Elm side, we're going to get to see Dark Death Mountain very soon.
Yep, that does seem quite likely. And he's going for the lower portal. Some people opt to go for the Turtle Rock portal just to give them an excuse to open it and check what the medallion is. But since Turtle Rock is a pendant today, I wouldn't really want to do that either.
And our Super Bunny Cave is not yielding much today.
Yep, just a energy tank and some missiles. But, you know, dang it all if we don't have a lot of energy tanks. Turtle Rock's medallion is Ether. Alright, so I think Elminster's probably going to be going to Desert/Mire.
I don't think there are many other options at this point. We haven't seen the Eastern area yet, right?
Yeah, the Eastern and Pod area was the other thing I was thinking. You can combine that all in one go. Check what's on the pyramid, that sort of thing. Catfish and Zora and all that mess. Alright, Mire Shed not turning up anything either. It looks like Ether is our medallion du jour.
Unless we need Bombos later for Fire Rod in Ice Palace. That's happened before.
Yep, that is definitely a thing. Alright, so Elminster's gonna go check the Aegina's cave with his last bomb. And 50 rupees. Doesn't look like he's gonna go and bother with Desert right now. Alright, so the Flute to 5 tells me the Pod and Eastern play is live. And ooh, Metroid is following right behind.
Look at that sync. Which I guess is a testament to how linear this seed has been so far. A couple options early on, but it's all converging on a few limited courses.
Alright, Elminster is mirroring in front of Sahasrah's hut. And it was a pretty good spot to do so.
He has no bombs.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I guess he's going to go to Pod first because there are plenty of bombs in Pod. Just calling an audible here. All right, speed booster.
Let's go to Brinstar. Brinstar with speed booster is the next play. I'm calling it.
Oh boy. That is the, I'm assuming for that one we're gonna do the spark through the bomb wall there that you would normally use. Just head that direction.
Yes, that's the one.
I suppose you could theoretically go through the gauntlet?
No, you need morph to get through there.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Could check the top of it though. If you're feeling like a spark.
Oh my goodness. Morph ball at Spospo. Like that would make you have to fight Spore Spawn.
I've never seen that happen before.
My God.
Actually, I don't think it can be there because you need it to escape. Which I believe is a consideration. And yeah, chat confirming. Thanks, chat.
All right. It's a little weird, though, why you couldn't get the item you need to get out there. But it makes sense. Because you don't want to check things that you can't get out of. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it's like it would have been possible to do it that way, so it's likely just a design choice.
All right, a reserve tank in the Harmless Hellway, as it's called. And MST is going to head over to Eastern while Elminster refills a few bombs. Heads out.
And we've gotten a change pace. Oh, I guess he's not checking Eastern.
Well, he's going to head back over to Sazrala first. He didn't get the bombs situation. All right, there is the speed booster for Elminster as well. And he is going to head directly over to 6 once again. I guess he intends to check the desert itself. Reasonably certain you can't check the gold Torizo item without the morph ball or the screw attack.
You would need screw attack to get through there, and also a lot of guts. It's a tough fight without morph or suit.
I really just meant the screw attack item, but because that's the only one that's in logic, I think, without the Varia suit.
Actually, on this logic, I think
not even that.
Not even that. No, there's no heated rooms required. Which, interestingly enough, I've actually seen more suitless Norfair in normal seeds because the heated rooms aren't required. So if you're in go mode and you can't find Varia, you just want to finish, like there's like 3 or 4 runners that will just go into Ridley without a suit.
Yep. Good on them.
Oh, looks like Elm is stealing a key.
Interesting.
No boots for desert, but he doesn't care. He wants those items.
And in this particular logic, the whole the early supers room is now in logic since we have the speed booster.
That's a very good point. It's a strong incentive to go there. All that for a big 20.
He did get the big key, so he's going to go for the big chest as well. But we'll see what we get here.
Oh, that is a good find. So,
Oh, speaking of a good find, there's a space jump for Mr. Elminster. And as you said, Metroid found the Ether Medallion, which was super important. Sorry for interrupting you, though.
No, it's fine. You're just excited. Space jump is important. Not important yet, but it will come into play. This is actually a good indication for him that as soon as he finds his suits, he could head to Lower Norfair, because that space jump is one of the few things that puts Lower Norfair into logic for this difficulty.
Mm. All right, so it looks like Elminster, now with 7 hearts, is going to go ahead and brave the back of Thieves Town. We know there's only 1 item left in Thieves Town. All right. So that is a small key for Metroid. We know what both the items are in Skull Woods, actually. We found the super missiles here and the ice rod in the back.
And then we're probably going to see... Oh wait, is Metroid leaving for good? We'll see.
Well, you gotta head outside to get to the back anyway.
Gonna grab that ice rod.
Did we ever get to see what was on the bumper cave?
I believe Elm looked at it, which is probably why he didn't grab Cape.
Yeah, that would make sense. It's power bombs. All right. All right, MetroidMst about to pick up the ice rod. Spoiler alert. I'm kidding. And Elminster heading into the basement of Thieves Town.
Looks like we'll be seeing that big chest today. Is this a pen check I see?
Ooh, okay. Well,
what's your guess? What's your guess for pen?
Garbage.
Missile.
So basically, I mean, you want some number of missiles for sure, but you're not going that far out of the way for your missiles.
If you're just 5 missiles short for Mother Brain, you just need to do all the pendant dungeons to get it. Look at these dodges. Elm has not gotten hit yet.
This is the look of a man who has done the hammer blind fight a few times.
Oh god. This is that was ridiculous.
Oh, and the Cane of Samaria on hand. So yeah, 1 item left in Thieves Town. Turns out, pretty good item. Now here's the thing. If I had a sword and I had been to Eastern like MST and gotten Ether, I might be tempted to go check out Meyer.
I think we're still waiting on Hookshot or the
Oh
boots.
yeah, there is that one small thing. Who needs items?
Uh-oh. 2 hearts is not a good look for Metroid.
Yeah, it's not pretty. Alright, Elminster's gonna go ahead and switch out for, or head into the light world with the Smith, except maybe not. Yeah, he was gonna check the library there. That's
Oh, Metroid.
ooh, the Hellway claims a victim.
And unfortunately, he did have a healing potion.
Yeah, I know some people will want to save a potion if that's the only one they have to like do maybe the pod potion glitch or something, but yeah, it's kind of unfortunate when you take a death in the back of Thieves Town.
And with how close these runners were, I think every little bit's gonna matter. Especially when you're up against somebody like Elm.
Well, the reason people don't like to replace the potion if you use it is, well, one, both of our runners for now are pretty low on cash. They still haven't gotten to Zora yet. But also, you have to go replace it. That's time spent replacing it. So if you can get through on the 1 heart, that's great. But some people don't. Some people, like myself, think they can get through things on 1 heart when they really can't.
Yep, where the net time save is to just drink that potion. Well, here we are again. One heart life.
All right, so Elminster going to get the big 20 out of the purple chest as MST continues heading through Thieves Town.
Oh, I haven't seen that that hint text before.
Was that X-ray?
Yes, the lens of truth. Lens of truth from Zebus. Yes, yes, chat. X-ray at the tablet. Check.
I have not seen that message. I have seen the X-ray in that location. I just haven't seen the message because I've always had a sword. But goodness. So the X-ray scope is useful for certain bosses and things like that, but I don't know if you're going that far out of your way to get it later.
I actually find that I lose more time than I gain with X-ray scope just because it affects my menuing.
Fair enough.
Here we go. Hammer blind number 2. Uh-oh. This is a much spookier situation.
Ooh! MST takes a fall. He's going back for it. Yeah, the lasers are no joke in the blind fight. Apparently Thieves Town was the other 5-6 crystal. Because Elminster has the big bomb.
Metroid entering phase 2 of bullet hell. Oh
Oof.
no. He might leave that red cane behind at this rate.
Wouldn't be surprised though if I see the morph ball right here for Elminster. We'll see. $300 and some missiles, so nothing particularly important for the Pyramid Fairy location.
That does seem like a good time to go see Zora, though.
And it does look like MST has returned to good old-fashioned Super Metroid.
We'll finally get to see him, see someone follow up on that speed booster we found a while ago.
Looks like we're headed for the morph ball location right now. Now, unfortunately, MST will not be able to get the item in the old Mother Brain room, thanks to lack of morph ball. Vari is sued at the morph ball location.
So with Varia and Ice, Upper Norfair is in logic. We could actually see Morph at Speed Booster at this point.
Croc morph? Gross.
But Maniacal, this isn't hard logic. Oh no, you're right. It could just be after the Croc fight behind him. This seed is playing out to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I guess you go through the ice beam area and go that way.
No, you have to go through Cathedral and then down from there. But actually, no, that would require a gate glitch.
Yeah, so you go through the ice beam area with the speed booster, which allows you to
yeah, we do
get
have
through there. Oh, but you need power bombs to get down, so no.
Yeah, I think for Croc right now we would need a wave beam for it to be in normal logic.
Right. And there we go. MST heading into Brinstar over to the Green Hill Zone with the speed booster in hand.
Does our friend Zora have for us today?
A sword. Okay, so go with me on this journey.
Okay, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Morph ball in the first chest of Turtle Rock.
Why not put it deeper?
I mean, yeah, I guess it could be there. Could be further.
But yes, I'm with you. Give them something to look forward to.
All right, early supers room, done the old-fashioned way with just the speed booster. Can't really check the two items behind there, though. Not without some sort of bomb mechanism. Or the morph ball. That's what I meant to say. The morph ball is a bomb mechanism. Plus 10 arrows.
And a big 20. I'm telling you, looks like Norfair to me. I wonder if Metroid thinks the same.
There is that possibility. I think he's probably going to head down to... Well, no, that's inescapable without the ball, so... Yeah, he's just going to head back up. And Elminster did what I was thinking of doing, which is just resetting after finding that big 20.
Think that Metroid hadn't actually saved his Varia, which makes sense why he would have to leave.
And Elminster hasn't even gone for the Varia yet, so yeah.
They're gonna sync up again soon. Actually, a good point in chat. Can we get up Red Tower right now?
So I was thinking about that, and I was like, don't you need bombs in the middle of it?
No, there's no strong blockages. By X-ray room, those are shot blocks. You just shoot through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So first PBs are.
I was gonna say, like a while back, I was thinking alpha power bombs. Those in logic? Nah, you need bombs, right? Nope, I'm making that up. Ice beam puts that in logic. Also space jump, but the space jump isn't technically in logic. Space jump in logic is behind the boots.
So, what is Elm doing? Oh, Elm is sequence breaking Mother Brain's old tank. If you get a short charge in this room, you can break through the blocks to the escape, and then you can actually use your super speed to break down the blocks in the other room.
Okay.
It's really precise, though. And I don't think I've seen anybody use it in a race. But it needs to not be a spark. You need to hold the blue suit as you drop down into the hole.
That sounds like the most annoying thing to try to do.
Right? Yeah, this is some showing off right here. Some
like
skills.
I think in my life I've pulled off like 2 or 3 2-tap short charges, and this looks like worse than that.
This is next level.
So space jump was at the big chest of desert. But the big chest, or the big key of desert, was on the right-hand side. The small key is on the torch. What Elminster did was he stole a key from the left side. Well, he broke one of the blocks.
We might get to see later if that would have paid off. Unfortunately, do not get to see it pay off today.
Alright, so Elminster gonna go check the ceiling energy tank. And then I imagine gonna put that Varia suit to good use.
I'm hoping so. We're playing catch up again on MetroidMst side. So we'll have pretty much the same checks except for desert, and then they're going to converge on Nowhere Fair.
MST once again attempting to set up for fake flippers here. The issue here is he keeps trying to hold up while transitioning, and you really cannot be holding up while transitioning from the right.
Interesting. I didn't know that. It looks like Elm's giving it another try now that he's back. Oh, is this the time? Nope, not today.
Aw. And he was gonna get the shine spark out, and then he hit the platform on the left. I mean, that was a pretty good excuse to get us to do that. You try it, or you try it. If it doesn't work, you get the shine spark out. But
if you can do that short charge there, it's worth it, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, Elminster taking the flute. Hey, you remember what I was talking about with Turtle Rock?
It's happening. It's coming up soon.
He might go for Spike Cave or something. Oh no, he's going to Metroid. I was like, oh yeah, there's a Norfair portal up here. What am I talking about?
His space jump's gonna make this easy for him too. Save him a little bit of time.
Just a piece of heart in the cathedral missiles as we head over toward Bubble Mountain.
Yep. The more that time goes on, the more I'm thinking, you're right. It's in Turtle Rock. It's gonna be there.
That would be super dumb and funny.
I love it. I think that's great. Why play rando if you can't get those kind of things to happen?
I mean, super dumb things is why we all do this in the first place, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we're all masochists.
And yeah, there's nothing over at the reserve there because you don't have the morph ball yet, but we can get over to Speed Booster.
A good point in chat is that ether medallion to get to Turtle Rock was actually not in logic because of the lamp.
Oh, good point. So lamp here at Speed Booster, and then everything's good.
Oh, Norfair. So disappointing.
Breaking my heart. All right.
So without morph, the wave beam spot is not in logic because he'd have to do a gate glitch to get back out.
Right.
Oh,
well,
my God.
But the spot next to it is apparently.
That's
right, because the lamp is right there. Okay,
sure. Rocket is. That's the next progression.
Well, I mean, with that morph ball, we're probably going to check a whole lot of Super Metroid.
Oh, Metroid brought a fairy. We're going to see it happen this time. No commentator curse, please.
Got it. And Blind goes down delivering that Cane of Samaria. And Elminster going over to the Norfair Reserve. Energy tank, and a big 20.
This is a very healthy Samus right now.
Mm-hmm. Of course, taking half damage due to the Varia suit, so even better.
Still only 5 PBs? What a mean seed.
I mean, they could have 10.
It's true.
Neither one of them wanted to get the cape. I guess maybe Metroid has the cape. I don't remember looking.
So, unfortunately for Metroid, we're gonna have to see if he realizes he can do Upper Norfair with ice and Varia. The space jump made it easy, but the ice access is not as apparent and doesn't come up as often.
Yeah. Isn't the protocol there to like freeze the Nova on the side and then like wall jump off of him or something?
Yes. Or you just knock him down with a super onto that little platform and freeze him on the ground.
Oh yeah. I forgot supers will knock them off.
Yeah. I find that one easier because you just kind of have to freeze it on the platform and then you just have a higher platform.
Seems entirely legit. As Elminster is now heading for the crumble shaft. I don't know if that's what you call it, but that's what I call it.
I would call it that, so yes.
And now we're heading back up to the ice beam location. That crumble shaft location is also another way to Crocomire, if you want to go that way. Once you have the speed booster, which we do.
Something that's kind of nice for Elm right now is because he sequence broke Space Jump, and because of this logic, he can kind of write off Wrecked Ship for quite a while, until he finds his boots or the grapple beam. And that's a pretty significant time save. Actually, never mind. Wrecked Ship is in logic with Speed Booster.
Right.
A lot of things to remember with these logic levels.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it's might also be in logic with Gravity Suit coming in from the back.
Very good point.
But Speed Booster makes that a moot point. It's a good moot point. Alright, Metroid MST looks to be heading over to Catfish. This will be a check we haven't seen yet. Space Jump was sequence broken. Because the big key was on... the big key was on the right-hand side of Desert. The small key was on the torch, which means he stole a key in order to do so. The game will not expect you to have to steal the key. I will never figure out the timing on the Kraid quick kill, so congratulations whoever plays against me. You'll get another like 15 seconds on me.
Oh yay, because that might be me. Yep. So the Kraid quick kill is I just look for there's like 3 positions that Kraid's mouth is in, and there's just one of them that stalls if you hit it. So I usually just use the visual cue to know whether I got it. The worst is when Kraid says no and just puts that hand up, blocks your shot. And more health. Are we gonna see
I think that's vanilla.
Samus? Yes, that is vanilla. That flashing door and health refill after Kraid for all of the first-time players.
Feels good. Alright, so Elminster now heading up toward the Spazer location and then Red Tower. We can absolutely work our way up to the X-ray spot if we want to.
Now, is he gonna swing over to Brinstar again, or do you think he's just going to go to Wreck Ship at this point?
Good question. There's still quite a few items over Brinstar. There's also quite a few at Wrecked Ship. So, I mean, I'm no expert. I can't really tell you. I'm copping out here.
I think he's going to go Wreck Ship because of his type of play. He's going to go, I've already eliminated some of the value there. Let's go for the new place.
Seems good. All right, so the X-ray location in this hallway here with spikes and awfulness. We've got the space jump to get through it, so that should be entirely within logic. Just missiles, and Elminster managed to reveal that without having to get through the whole rigmarole of getting out.
Okay, it looks like MST might be... Oh, didn't he already save the old man? No, he didn't do that yet.
Don't believe so. Alright, so it does look like Elminster is going to go ahead and head for the wrecked ship area. We're going to go through alpha power bombs and so forth. We get to the Metroid Hellway. A mushroom at the alpha power bombs plus an energy tank.
I think he needs a few more, just to be safe.
Yeah, maybe. And I mean, I know you're joking, but for me, probably not.
Yeah, this is a guy who can finish the game with 3, so he's got an excessive amount of health for probably his own standards. But I too would not turn down that much health. Huh. Yeah, Metroid is holding off on Upper Norfair. Might be a bit longer till he realizes he can get up there with Ice Beam.
Well, that's going to be a bit of a problem, but sure we'll get it eventually. All right, so Elminster now heading to Wrecked Ship. Wrecked Ship still not in logic. Oh yeah, wait, it is with the speed booster. We talked about this. We've had this conversation.
There's one technique that gets used in almost no categories. It's the Red Tower Shine Spark, where you can charge a Shine Spark from that middle spot, shoot a missile up, and chase it with a Shine Spark all the way to the top. But Elm unfortunately didn't get to show it off, because he's got Space Jump.
That sounds like something that, if I could pull it off, would be pretty useful, because I'm straight bad at those wall jumps.
Yeah, it's just tap the missile, fly on up, and it's the coolest looking thing in the game.
All right.
Let's see.
So Elminster gets more supers, which is, I mean, how many missiles does he have for Fantoon? Not enough is the answer.
Yes. He would have almost had enough had he grabbed those missiles on the way in.
Now, that being said, at this point, you might just take some enrages. Because how much health do you have? Is the answer all of it? Because I think the answer is all of it.
Oh, he's missing 49 health. He's going to take the risk. Oh no. Metroid checking Spike Cave. Now, we did not see Spike Cave, so this could be something.
Elminster's farming the flames.
He has the supplies he needs now, so.
Lands just a sickening amount of missiles in Fantoon here. Not quite enough to finish him off on the second cycle, but the third cycle should be no trouble.
Oh.
He's short by one, but a super will take him now, I think.
Fantoon being very nice today. Lots of short cycles. I think pretty soon here, MetroidMst is going to run out of other checks to do besides Upper Norfair. If he hasn't already. So I don't think there are any more checks he can do up here.
I mean, he can read the tablet.
More missiles.
Missile. Alright, so
I think that means that
Elminster. Go ahead.
The book is only giving access to desert because it didn't pay off at the pedestal or any of the tablets.
Yeah, and
So,
as we had the flute and the Titan's mitts and the mirror, the book wasn't really giving us access to desert either.
so I think given that sequence, we're gonna find boots.
Whoa!
Oh, there's
Screw attack.
I think we're gonna find boots soon, which will open up space jump, which opens up lower Norfair.
Alright, Elminster heading through the spiky room of spiky death.
And we will get to see what that first chest of Turtle Rock had for us.
This is gonna be glorious. Flippers over at Awful Missiles. Or Awful Energy Tank. Sorry.
Yep, that's Fantoon's safe box. It's all secure. And let's see if the game throws Metroid a lifeline.
Just power bombs. Alright, MetroidMst is very confused now. We can tell. Elminster getting a nice little clip there. I'm assuming it just involves getting stuck in that one between those two and then just jumping.
You know, I thought that too, but it's more precise than I think, because every time I try to do that, you just get stuck. So I think you have to press one of the aiming triggers at the right time to get stuck in the right spot.
Okay. So the morph ball was in was at the location just outside the wave beam.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be seeing Metroid's breakthrough moment here. After these brief messages with the ice beam location. Which he cannot check without morph.
right, Elminster heading over to the gravity suit area. Good old Chozo bowling here. All right, MetroidMst heading over to Bubble Mountain.
But the wrong side of it.
Yep.
Have we gotten any payout from Wrecked Ship so far, or has this just been a scenic vacation for Elm here?
Screw Attack was here.
Okay. That's a nice to have, not a need to have.
Well, I mean, speak for yourself. But yeah, other than that, looks like that's basically it for Wrecked Ship.
And so, back to Brinstar we go.
Oh yeah, flippers were there as well.
Oh. Thanks, chat, for reminding us.
Flippers so far only logically required. Thanks to the ability to fake Flippered Ice Palace and Swamp being a pendant. Alright, and Elminster now heads to the Criteria Power Bombs. It's just a missile. And I'm guessing we might see a gauntlet next.
I was thinking he'd go for a refill first.
Yeah, me too.
At 1 PB. Yeah. Looks like he had that. Oh! No,
well,
we got debated. He just wanted a bit of speed.
Yeah, Screw Attack you can get through here with I think just the one bomb.
Yeah, but now he's gonna have to go back and... Well, actually, no, you're right. He gets 2 PBs on the way down here. So he will have no problem making his way into Brinstar. Here comes the moment. Metroid's gonna find his morph ball.
In a gigantic, are you kidding me right now moment. Oh, and it looks like Elminster is just finishing off that loop there and heading back toward the ship. Heading over to Bomb Terizo.
And now Lamb.
Okay, Plasma Beam. Just outside the portal to Zelda here.
Yep, and Lore Norfair is coming to fruition here.
right, Elminster heading over to this particular area.
Oh, fighting a Triceratops with a fighter sword? That's
yeah,
no fun.
it's not pretty. It's 4 hits there, but we are going to get to see the check on the screw attack location. Or not. Like, he's not even going to look at it? Okay.
He keeps debating us here. And he has space jump, so you'd think he'd want to check the other items in there. Well, since he did Upper Norfair, after Ridley, he could come back this way and then make his exit from Norfair.
Yeah, that is something I've seen somebody do. It's, you know, a possibility. Looks like MST is doing the gate glitch here. And here I am now forgetting I didn't think you could do that with normal missiles.
Yes, you can if it's a blue gate.
Well, now I know.
Yep. Gotta save your good ammo. He did end up using supers, but yes, that one is possible with missiles.
All right. For those of you who are fans of giant mouths and tons of eyes, welcome to Crocomile.
Not what I expected.
I also like to call this guy Jebaited the Boss.
Have you ever run out of ammo at Croc?
Not to my knowledge.
It's the most demoralizing thing when you're just not getting ammo drops or not getting enough to move him back, and he just slowly pushes you into that spike wall.
Gross. And now the terrifying return of the Crocomire.
That is some interesting movement from Metroid.
Good job. Hardest boss in the game.
Like, emotionally, because they did nothing wrong.
Correct.
So we had the question in chat of who is ahead right now. So Elminster on the left actually found Morph Ball quite a bit before MST. So that is going to be a tough hurdle for Metroid to overcome.
Okay, what was that on Elminster's screen? He made like a second Samus appear.
If you you can shine spark the metal pirates, right? And if you hit them while they're invincible, you get permanent shadows like that while you're in the room.
That's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I could tell it probably wasn't something that's like actually required, but it's hilarious.
Oh,
okay. MetroidMst just pulled out a very interesting find over at Crocomire, which is kind of a place people like to avoid if they can help it. The bow at the what I've heard called the Indiana Jones missiles.
And Elm skipped that, so that could come into play. Tune back in 30 minutes when the bow is required, but
the bow is definitely going to be required in this seed. There's no way around that. We have to have it to beat both Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness, as well as Gan's Tower.
Ganesio makes a good point that Elm might just go by Croc after he's finished with Ridley.
Yeah, especially since, you know, he's already checked the rest of Upper Norfair. That's sort of another way out of Lower Norfair that you might take.
Oh, wow, we missed Gravity was at Croc too.
Oh yeah, huh?
Well, go figure.
I'm a smart person.
At least you're observant. Just like me. Oh, that actually is much bigger than the bow. That opens up many, many, many item checks. Especially with Speed Booster to take them all the way to the end of the area. Gonna go explore Meridia.
Yeah, although with the amount of items we have right now, there's not a whole lot left that we really need. I mean, technically, the game would want you to have Charge Beam and, well, the Hook Shot, and the Fire Rod, or Bombos. And of course, MST does not know where that space jump is.
I don't know if it's gonna... So if there's nothing in Lower Norfair, not finding space jump now is actually a good thing. Because he might be able to just dip in there and kill Ridley and leave later on and save some time. Because it seems Lower Norfair did not have anything good for Elm. Oh, and that is the, I guess, third last check of Lower Norfair since he skipped the Golden Chorizo items.
So MST manages to pull off the lava dive with the gravity suit, the gravity jump version. Pretty good. Gravity jump is one of the few tricks I can do.
And it's so fun.
It is.
So, question in chat whether space jump is required. In this logic level, to get to Lower Norfair, there's a room where they need either morph bombs, it's a bomb jump, or space jump to fly up. So one of those two items is required. And since they got space jump through a sequence break in desert, didn't lead to much. Which isn't always the case. Sometimes those pay off. It looks like Elm is making the choice to go to Croc, so he will be closing that gap with MST in terms of those items very soon.
Meanwhile, looks like MST is going to be checking the screw attack item and might go ahead and head on into Gold Chorizo. Boots!
Oh my gosh.
Boots at Gold Chorizo.
So now Lower Nerfer is in logic, but MST doesn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, basically the second I finish Gold Chorizo, I'm going to that portal, I'm going to desert, because I got the boots, and I'm going to go finish it. Looks like Elminster's setting up some sort of blue suit thing here, which is something people can do on Crocomire. Looks like Metroid's not even... I mean, maybe he looked at it, I don't know. I didn't see what was the
Yeah, I did not see that
the
either.
space jump on it. But yeah, as expected, Metroid heading over here. Looks like Metroid's actually going for Meyer first, which is reasonable.
Yeah, that is a
Oh,
good
okay,
play.
that's where the gravity suit was. I don't know what this room is called.
I wouldn't want to say post-croc missiles, but there's two missiles down here.
Cosine
Cosine.
room.
That makes
Okay.
sense. Very descriptive.
I mean, if we're talking about the shape of that hallway, yeah.
Yes, or alternatively, gravity suit room.
All right. Just bomb capacity over at Grapple Beam, so Metroid MST didn't really miss anything there.
Whoa.
It
MST
does,
taking a
however,
death.
take a beating, yeah.
He got Shoryuken by that ghost.
Yeah, the Wizrobes are jerks. They're not nearly as big a jerk in this game as they are in, like, Zelda 1.
You know, if you have your emulator settings wrong for SNES 9X, them blinking isn't visible, so they can be even
Ugh.
worse. It's really nasty.
That sounds like you might have had it set up to do, like, occasional frame skipping or something.
You got it.
And there we go. Elminster does go ahead and pick up that energy tank on the Crocomire escape.
Yeah, because he's going for that 100% completion. He needs all that health.
Seems legit. All right, so Elminster, with that bow in hand, looks to be heading over to Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace. Finish that mess off.
Which is a very strong choice. So, Desert and Meyer have a pretty low payoff with only 4 total items between them. And so, Elm is making the higher value play with that bow. And unfortunately for MST, those boots may have only been locking up the space jump, which Elm already had.
All right, Elminster now heading to the right side of Pod. Which at this point I'm guessing likely contains the big key, or at least enough small keys to get to it.
Yep, Chad with a good call. Elm did complete Ridley. He finished all of Norfair, upper and lower.
Oh, the hook shot on the right-hand side of Pod. And Elminster not particularly happy about that.
When I guess the options from it are taking a trip back up Death Mountain next to a pendant turtle rock to grab 4 chests, or doing Swamp. It might not have been what he wanted to see quite yet, though it is nice to have. Although with that, so it looks like he's going to be doing Pod, he's going to be doing Eastern. He is missing his boots for Desert, but he can complete Ice Palace, and he's going to be getting his medallion for Mire. So then for the next little while, it looks like Elm's going to be wrapping up Link to the Past dungeons and then getting stuck at Desert till he goes back and gets his boots.
Yep, so however long it takes him to get to Gold Chorizo again is how long it'll take him to be able to beat Link to the Past. Because he can also get into Mire with that hook shot.
Yeah, that is a very good point.
All right, we've got MetroidMst heading through the dark room of Misery Mire, Elminster heading into the dark room of Pod. We got darkness all around.
In 2 very similar rooms.
So speaking of menuing, I know you're more of a Super Metroid guy, but what do you think about the menu over in Link to the Past?
I have been getting used to it.
Good. I still am not used to it.
The way it wraps over is kind of weird sometimes. Or like it wraps over to the right side of the line to go to the next, but up and down just goes straight up and down.
Yeah, it's a little strange. But I mean, if it didn't do that, there would be some configurations where not every item would be accessible. So I appreciate the fact that it's done. And specifically, like, I don't know if you played any Ocarina of Time Randomizer, but it used to be that there were actual problems where you couldn't access the items because of the configuration.
Yeah, it's like while they're playing this video game, every so often they need to do a shortest path algorithm. They're like, oh, get to the next item, navigate this menu.
Yep. I kind of wish there was like a little, just a simple training program to just say, okay, you're on this item, this is what your menu looks like, and you need to get to this one. Go! And just do a bunch of those over and over.
Link to the Past menu arcade?
Yeah, basically.
This sounds like a very niche game that some people will play. So, Vitreous only had power bombs. So Misery Mire is done.
All right, Elminster now going to head through Eastern Palace, which, as we know, he has not yet checked.
So, I think the play for MST here is to do Desert and not follow the space jump. He needs to go over to Pod and get those Link to the Past dungeons done. That will find him his go mode. Although we are chronically short on swords right now. A couple more swords would be great.
And Metroid MST would be in, actual go mode. but it would only be a logical go mode without the flippers. And I know that we saw some issues with doing fake flippering early. So. Yeah, and we would want one more sword. You're right. And also fire our bombos. So yeah, we got a little ways to go, but it's looking pretty good.
Did MST skip that big chest? Hopefully he goes back for that.
Yeah, I hope so. Missing space jump would be problematic to say the least. I guess you could theoretically get to basically everything. Minus the one item above Gold Teresa. On the left. The picky statue, I believe some people call it. Or picky Chozo. And there we go, Elminster picking up the Ether Medallion.
And will probably be making his way back to Meyer, especially because he has that easy access with the flute.
Alright, so Ice Rod strats for MetroidMst.
Which is something Ice Rod strats are available in vanilla, and I just never thought to do them.
Yeah, most people aren't going to do it because it, like if you're doing the speed run, it's significantly slower to go over to Ice Rod Cave without the flute and boots. Or you'll have boots, but without the flute. And also, heading over that direction is part of something you do after going to Desert.
The Armos Knight's gone for the first time. Only had a big 20 though.
Alright, so that's 4 crystals down for Elminster. And
the one good thing about this seed is the way it handed everything in a way so they had all what that they needed so they can just go and do the dungeons.
wait, did MetroidMst still not go for the big chest of Desert?
He did not. So no space jump, which means likely no lower Norfer access, which he does not seem to have on his mind yet, but he very well could once he makes his way over to the other side.
Currently farming super missiles like crazy. Every single one of these red rippers here is going to drop one.
Oh, moment of truth. He stops before the door and goes, wait a second. Gives us a little wiggle.
All right, speaking of checks, Elminster now is checking Meridia. Gonna do this little short charge here.
I'm not sure Meridia is going to have any value.
Well, it's got the powder, so
Might have a fetch list.
Powder's value on its own. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I don't have a problem.
Powder is very nice for keeping Link alive. That is another thing. If MST gets Space Jump, he's gonna want to go do Norfair. But for now, he can go do Pod Eastern, which will give him, I believe, Go Mode. Except for the Space Jump he left behind.
Elminster leaving behind an energy tank.
Oh,
Can't believe it.
he was so close. Do you know the difference between Space Jump underwater and out of water?
Do I know the difference between Space Jump underwater and out of water?
Yeah.
No.
So when Samus is underwater, you can reuse Space Jump like every 4 frames. It's incredible. You just zoom straight up.
Huh.
When you're in the air, it's something like, it's more frames. I think it's like 12 or something. I only know.
Does that include like when you're jumping off of the sand in the pits there?
No, only when you're actually space jumping. Actually, but like if you're underwater and you are off of the sand, then yes, you could just trigger the jump if you're spinning.
Huh.
Except the sand will store your Y value in it. So if you keep getting stuck in it, you can just touch dry land and then try to jump off the sand again. You'll start on the surface.
Right, Piece of Heart here and supers.
We haven't found Charge Beam yet, so any ammo is probably going to be potentially relevant later.
I think the logic still technically wants you to have Charge Beam for Ridley, or am I making that up?
Nope, you are exactly right. Any boss that doesn't drop ammo requires Charge Beam.
So I guess that theoretically includes the final boss as well.
Yes.
That being said, everything's going to be available before the final boss. All right, so Elminster does go ahead and do the save trick for the sand pits. Checks out the right side sand pit first, finds nothing we're interested in, and moves on. Yes, Elminster did definitely already beat Ridley without the Charge Beam, and that's something you can definitely do.
Yeah, so when we say required, we mean logically required, but not practically required.
Yeah. What that really means for practical purposes is if you find something behind Ridley, you know that won't lead to the Charge Beam. All right, so we got a boomerang and a heart container, so both sand pits basically empty today. And we don't have a grapple beam, so Shack Tool isn't in logic, and you don't want it to be in logic anyway.
Unfortunately, MST is putting off his Eastern odd check.
Yeah, that is going to be pretty sad, but he is going to go ahead and get the Kraid kill done.
I thought he had done that already, but I guess...
Yeah, apparently MetroidMst has not killed any Metroid bosses yet. And welcome to Bot Woon, Population Elminster.
So Elm actually could have gone to Meridia from the back entrance, which would have meant he wouldn't have to do this fight whatsoever.
That's true. I'm not sure if it's going to be that much faster, though, to be fair.
I don't have exact numbers on that, but I think it is a little bit faster. Maybe a minute?
Yeah, but then you don't get to show off that sweet shine spark.
That's true. And Kraid gets to stand up today.
All right, Elminster's setting up for the Dragon fight.
I think there's a very good chance we're going to see some Shine Sparks very soon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think
that
the
ammo
Shine
count.
Spark sprite might, or Shine Spark strats might happen here. I mean, it's looking like some of these might not be hitting, but I guess they are. Like, I don't know what the hitbox for the Shine Sparks is.
Oh, and he gets
that's
that
a hit.
blue suit.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, so basically, if you finish it off with a Shine Spark, the death animation of Dragon cancels the cancels the Shine Spark, and you get the blue suit.
I actually I was saying that to Maniacal once, and he told me that there's a bit more to it. You actually have to have no value in your run counter when the Shine Spark or when the death animation happens, which I believe just means turning around before jumping up and doing the Shine Spark. But I could be wrong.
Okay, interesting.
But what was interesting there after that fight too is that Kana Burna didn't have any colors in the palette, so it looked invisible. I think Elm was just like, wait a second, what is this? It's invisible.
Well, it was just really I think it actually was the colors in the palette, but it was exactly the color of the background. Just hilarious.
So the reason that is that way is that apparently this Super Nintendo doesn't actually have all the colors available all the time. So the person making a scene would just choose a palette of colors and then have it work, which you never notice until you start mixing games. And items need other palettes that just aren't available to them.
Or like if, for example, you do some weird glitches in Link to the Past and leave one dungeon and end up in another. And you end up with like weird palette versions of other dungeons. All right, so MetroidMst will also be heading up to the beach missiles and watering hole area here, and then Elminster will be doing the Misery Mire play.
Now, if our runners today had been as thorough as we could be with our omniscience, seeing everything happen, then this was looking like a 230 to like 245 seed for these folks.
Quite possibly.
Now we've got to wait for them to backtrack, which could be very hype when they're coming down to the last couple spots.
So there's a chance Elminster here, after finishing Mire, will go ahead and head for Gold Chorizo, and that would be the best possible scenario. If he doesn't, then we've got a waiting game on our hands.
So I guess the silver lining for Metroid is that he does not have to worry about Norfair. till he remembers his missed item.
All right, so MST now gonna check the holes, the water, the pits, sand pits, words, and take care of that. Once again, we will see probably none of these items picked up.
Is that no items in left sinkhole?
Mm-hmm. All right, so nothing for the sandpit expedition, and I expect MetroidMst to do a similar play to Elminster. Go take care of Botwoon, head to Dragon. Though, one thing we did not see from Elminster was a play to the plasma beam location.
And who knows? What if that has our elusive fire source that we need?
But you know what the sad part is? MetroidMst don't think they can actually... Well, I mean, they could Shine Spark their way out.
Yeah, I think they have the ability to. But you are right. The space jump does put plasma into logic.
Well, you also need either plasma, screw attack, or the speed booster, and that's not even in logic. Just to get out of there to kill the pink pirates.
Do you know you can actually kill them with just charge beam, but you have to throw yourself bodily into them.
Oh yeah, the pseudo screw.
Yep, takes lots of damage.
All right, MetroidMst now gonna go face off against Dragon. Elminster gonna go face off against Vitreous. One of these things is not like the other, and the answer is both.
True. You had me thinking for a sec, but are they similar? Yeah. No.
I mean, they both have tiny versions of themselves surrounding them.
Oh, so there's some kind of connected lore here. That fairy is not being kind to Elm. What's that fairy RNG?
Alright, MetroidMst also seems to have no real trouble with the Shine Spark strats here. Pumping a few super missiles into it at the same time. And Elminster finally picks up that fairy.
And Dragon falls a second time. Oh my gosh. Elma's getting swarmed. He just really, really, really wants a fairy. Oh no, he's getting trolled by these fairies. There he goes.
Oh, MetroidMst just screwing up, just barely missing the Shine Spark out. Elminster is, well, he's putting those fairies to good use. He wants to get the eyeballs down as quickly as he can, so he's tanking the damage.
What a strat. I've never seen
fairies.
I've never seen anybody do this before. And there it goes. It worked. I've never seen Green Male Link standing in the middle of a boss just swinging that hammer.
That is some next level strats right there.
And he is not going back for his boots.
All right, so unfortunately for Elminster, he's going to take a little bit longer to locate his go mode item.
So we're just waiting on another sword, fire rod, a space jump on the right, and a boots on the left, right? This is pretty close. And we're waiting for Metroid to make his way over to Pod and get his hook shot.
Right. All right, so let's go see. It looks like Metroid is going to go ahead and head over to the plasma beam location. You think there's a chance he backdoors it into a wrecked ship from here?
I don't think so, just because the Forgotten Highway entrance to wrecked ship is actually pretty slow.
Yeah, it's pretty slow, that's true.
Like, it might be quicker to like get down to the portal, reset, and then go from the top.
Quite possibly. All right, Hookshot Cave. There's the fire rod at Plasma Beam.
Oh my god. This is so clutch. But yeah, you're right. He has to use these speed booster strats to get his way out of this room. I think he's going to have trouble killing that one up at the top. That is... Can he even get up there to kill that one?
Well, I mean, you can certainly get up there, but...
That one might... Is that one damageable with... Oh, he gets it with the shadows.
Yeah, the shadows.
Smart. And Elm doing the unnecessary turtle rock. Unless he finds all of the swords there. That would be the funniest laser bridge. Just sword, sword, sword. And you called it. It looks like MST is going to go up to wrecked ship from here.
And that seems to be the play. And Elminster is done with Turtle Rock. Can't really do much else without that fire rod. But did pick up some more power bombs, so there's a consolation prize. Oh, are we about to get a spike cave check?
Yeah. I think it only had a heart piece. We saw MST check that while he was looking for more.
Yeah, now the good news is we actually know where both of those items are. Plasma beam and screw attack. Screw attack is in the wrecked ship. Post Fantoon.
Hookshot Maniacal is in pod.
Now, one thing I remember, the flippers were also over here in wrecked ship, and they were over in the spiky room, or not the spiky room, but the room past it with the terrible energy tank room. The problem is, if you come in the back door and the ship's not awake, the item is not there. I found this out the hard way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if MST attempts to go to the item, it's not going to be there.
Well, with fake flippers, if he does miss it, it won't be the end of the world. He's actually just going to be getting a boss completion here, closing that gap with his opponent.
So the reason Elminster hasn't done Desert is because the small key is on the torch. And what he did was he stole a small key from the back to get the big key off the right-hand side. So yeah, you definitely do need the boots to get through Desert. Yeah, MST did leave Space Jump in the Desert big chest.
Yep, which is, as I said, gatekeeping an empty Norfair.
So, if you're in MST situation, I know you're thinking, man, I wish I had the Space Jump right about now, but you really don't.
Yep, it's for his own good. Although he is checking a lot of, he didn't have to go to Meridia. Although he did ultimately have to go to Meridia, but we didn't know that. And wrecked ship is just going to give him flippers, which he could fake. So if he skips upper wrecked ship, I think that would be the best outcome for him here.
All right, magic bat for Elminster. Magic powder being the item that unlocks this, and it is high jump boots. Well, that's interesting.
And powder was Meridia, so base jump not necessarily required right now then, because he could just grab, MST could grab those high jump boots if he makes that check later.
Fantoon is not being nearly as nice to Elminster, or to Metroid MST, as he was to Elminster. Alright, Elminster is getting a refill here, up to the full complement of 105 missiles, 50 supers and 25 power bombs, and some ungodly amount of energy, like 1,299 plus 2 reserves. Good lord.
He's got to be not careful at all. You just run into whatever he wants.
Oh, looks like we're getting the shaft check here.
Charge beam, maybe?
Wait, where did he get morph ball bombs?
I missed that one.
Hera basement. Gross.
That's just
one more. We did have to skip that way early on.
So I guess MST has 3 different checks he could make to give him that lower Norfer access he needs. He could, and all of them are available.
So personally, someone asking about Shack Tool, I would be ill-inclined to check Shack Tool without having the grapple beam, because I'm pretty sure it is definitely required for that in the normal logic. A single rupee for Elminster. Looks like we'll be heading over to Billy Mays here in a second.
And Metroid gonna grab his flippers, so he could actually go finish Ice Palace after this.
So I think best case scenario for Metroid is that
Elm does a world tour.
MST, yeah, basically best case scenario is Bombos is in Ice Palace or GT. And so that's the only way to access it.
Yeah, very good. Very good point. It's probably just sitting at Moth, just mocking us. Yeah, this I think this would be quite the upset if MST manages to clutch this out, which is pretty hype.
Yeah, it's looking pretty possible at this point. It's not guaranteed. So has quite a few dungeons to take care of, as well as still has to fight Ridley. Spring Ball.
Good
Sorry,
find.
What? All right, so here's our half magic at the pipe missiles.
Elm's just getting all of these nice quality of life items, but not the ones he needs.
Looks like we will be heading down to the waterway. Now, does normal logic require gravity for this room?
No.
I didn't think so.
Just because
you can get the dash off the platform to the left, right?
Without a short charge. But I think there was some conversation around whether it should be in normal logic, because you finish your spark in that room on the last tile of that top part. So it's right on the edge.
All right, good old spore spawn skip here.
By the way, for everyone, I've been enjoying all the different variations of Elm's timer. The numbers flip, they jump, they change into symbols.
I don't know what you're talking about. Elm's timer looks completely normal to me.
Yes. Those are sevens, by the way. Those are sevens, not twos.
All right, Elm is
Interesting.
set that up. He's looks like he was doing the setup to get into the corner there, using the non-moonwalk version.
Yeah, that was my first realization. He doesn't use moonwalk.
That wave gate skip is something I learned because I might have spent 6 hours on a seed because I didn't know it.
Oh my god. So you have some, that would have been a hard mode nightmare.
Yeah, a little bit. My way to get around it was to beat Mother Brain.
Oh, you went back with your hyper beam. Well, what did you get there?
Speed booster.
Oh my god. That's a route. That's a route right there. Let's see if we have any more goodies here in Burnstar.
Oh, finally heading for the Edicoons. My goodness.
Oh, nice wave beam there. Burnstar really is full of a lot of nice quality of life items for both games.
Yep, certainly nothing wrong with a wave beam. I
Wave
think
ice plasma? Yes.
Yeah, I think you need the wave beam to do the Zeb skip they do it the normal way. Otherwise, you have to shoot the ice thing from underneath. Or the Rinka.
Yeah. Yeah, you can shoot it from underneath with a charge shot, but yeah, wave beam makes it much, much easier.
And then, of course, there's the down back skip that doesn't require that, but that sounds like the worst time.
So we had a question in chat about the tracker. What did the stars on Skullwoods and Thiefstown mean? So there are 2 dungeons in Link to the Past that unlock a bit more than the other ones. They are the crystals for the 5 and 6 dungeons. And so those ones got assigned to those 2 dungeons, and they unlock 2 chests at the pyramid.
Yeah. And there's also a star next to the pendant on Skull Woods. That's because it's the green pendant, which unlocks the item at Saha's Rala, which would normally be the Pegasus boots. But
Which
yeah, he
are
does
in-
require that you complete the first or the green pendant in order to pick up his item.
Those Pegasus boots are in high demand right now.
Charge is probably in Ganon's Tower at this point. I believe it.
Charge cannot be in Ganon's Tower, because Ridley is coded as a requirement for Ganon's Tower, and Charge is required for Ridley.
Wait, what?
Yes. All the just as a design decision, all the Metroid bosses are requirements to enter Ganon's Tower, so that you don't get a ton of Super Metroid progression in Ganon's Tower.
Huh.
That's one of those edge cases that just seems weird when you first think of it, but then you're like, okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Now, okay, so some things that could be required for the bosses might end up being in Ganon's Tower, but there will be some combination of items that will get you through all 4 bosses before you go to Ganon's Tower.
So no hard requirements can be in there, but you can
Right.
get requirements for Ganon in there. Like Ganon can be hiding his silver arrows in his tower. Or I had a seed once where Ganon had his tower had the bow, because the bow wasn't required for any other dungeons.
So I saw a poll at one point asking about whether GT should have as Super Metroid progression items. I just didn't realize that had been decided.
No, I don't know if it's been decided, but this is the case right now is that it doesn't. So it could very well in the next version. I think that's a decision that has to get made. Looks like Elm is trying to. He's taking some time to think about what he missed. Gonna get his mother brain out of the way.
All right. Elminster going ahead and taking off the Varia suit there. That makes the health drain a little faster. So if you're going to get caught by the baby Metroid, you might as well get caught quickly.
Yep, and without high jump boots, he can't really do the baby skip.
Oh yeah, he does have the high jump boots. He got them from Magic Bat.
Oh, he did. Yep. Oh, I would have expected
Elminster stepping in, doing the Rinka ice skip there, and straight
that was
on to
so smooth.
Yeah. Like, I've heard that thing explained to me like 7 times, and I still can't understand how it actually works.
I think you're just like landing on the enemy that's in the wall. And so the game's like, oh, you must be in the wall. That's my personal understanding of it. Please, no technical review. It's a functional way of looking at it.
Elminster is just unloading his missile supply directly at Mother Brain's head.
I'm wondering if he has enough ammo, I think, but it was very close.
He was barely there, I think. Like, each missile counts for, or each super counts for 3 missiles, and it would take like 180 total missiles or something.
Yeah. So he had 20 extra missiles here. That's it. He did the math.
Did he do the monster math?
Yes. I'm gonna say yes. Yeah, so a few minutes ago somebody in chat said that MetroidMst has to remember that he has Link to the Past dungeons he can do. Those Pod and Eastern have been sitting there for quite a while.
Speaking of which, he just found the plasma beam. So yet another thing that puts his fire rod in logic.
Yep. So he needs to find the morph bombs or the space jump to put the rest of plasma in logic, but that doesn't matter to him now.
But it does really, really suck for Elminster with the whole the 2 things he's got to go find, because one of them is in a location that personally I would think that I've already checked at this point if I were Elminster, and the other at the
Trees, right?
Yeah, and the other one is a place I really just don't want to go check because it's plasma beam.
I've been burned by plasma beam so often that gotta route it in. Shack Tool though, now that's a commitment. So very well done Turian for Elm. Gonna see him finish off Mother Brain 3 and take his rainbow beam wherever he wants. Because after he leaves here, he can go anywhere in Zebes with that gun.
Though I think it reverts after you switch games. Or at least it used to.
Yes, I think once you go back, it's gone. And actually, I think Mother Brain is back if you go back again. You could do Mother Brain twice.
That sounds like a good way to waste several minutes.
But it'd be fun. You just keep escaping. It's like, no. Samus, get out of here. Oh, nice blue bomber strats. Making use of that spring ball. What I actually recently had somebody explain the blue bomber thing he did to me. It's a fun trick to do. You just gotta unmorph and hold up and jump after you jump out a spring ball.
Huh.
Yep.
And Elminster manages to shine spark right out of the old Turian shaft and into Legend of Zelda. Unfortunately, if he's looking for his progression in Zelda, he's not going to find it.
His boots are in another universe.
Which is kind of like another castle.
Kind of like another castle. Yes, G in chat. That is one of 2 final bosses eliminated. Oh no, Elm's gonna do swamp.
Oh no. Oh, banana. Sorry.
No, that is accurate. Yeah, both of our runners doing a world tour.
All right, blue mail for MST. Everybody just looking basically everywhere except where they need to go.
Maybe he'll find more quality of life items. Hopefully not for the game he just finished. If he finds charge beam here, it'll just be the, ugh, don't need that.
Oh, ho. So, yeah, the charge beam is real. I don't know what you did, but somehow you have forced the game to succumb to your will.
I'm just laying back here going, that would be nice. Make it so. It's like crowd control, but for commentators. It's just commentator curse.
Curse control?
Curse control, yes. We've got some folks in chat that haven't seen this rando before. You wanna... What's your quick elevator pitch for Super Metroid Link to the Past Randomizer?
Okay, let's see if I can do this. Alright, so here's how it works. You got 2 games that are awesome, and what we're going to do is we're going to take all the things from those games, and we're going to shuffle them all around between them and make it an absolute nightmare. But also just as awesome.
Yes.
It is a very, very interesting way to play the game. And, you know, you can find items for Metroid in Zelda. You can find items for Zelda in Metroid. You can find, you know...
happiness, joy, fatigue.
All of those things.
Yep. And there's 4 portals that connect the games, and the goal is to just beat the 2 last bosses. And we have races.
The fire rod is at the plasma beam location.
Yep. So let's see if what else could Elm find here? If he found the Bombos medallion, that would be a game changer.
Yeah, Bombos would basically invalidate the need for that plasma beam location. Although, if the big key in Ganon's tower was on the right-hand side. You would need to pull off a little trick to actually acquire it.
Yeah, how would you do that? You wouldn't be able to do that torch room without the fire rod, right?
You can do it. It can be done with a lamp. The way it's done is you come in and you first go out the top door into the little petting zoo there, kill all the enemies so you can come back out. Then you go down to the bottom, bomb jump your way across to the last torch, light the torch, fall in the hole, light the rest of the torches as you dash down.
Interesting. That is some next level stuff.
You have just barely enough time.
I like it.
Also, it very much helps to have the boots, which, I mean, Elminster will have that before heading to GT, that's for sure. And MetroidMst is basically looking for the
he
hook
skipped
shot.
half magic just now.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, no sword upgrade so far. But all of the swords can be in Ganon's Tower. What a great game. I think with a pendant Skullwoods, you could put all the swords in Ganon's Tower, if I'm not mistaken.
There is one set of dungeons that allows for that. Essentially, you would have to make sure that the dungeons of Skullwoods, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock were your pendants. So all of those will require a sword to beat.
Makes sense. Oh, I'm going back for left side swamp.
Oh,
He's
gross.
Giving Metroid many opportunities to realize what he missed.
So Metroid needs to go to Palace of Darkness to get the hook shot. Needs to go to back to Desert to get the space jump. Doesn't actually need that so much. Just would rather have it, and it would let him know that Ridley is in logic.
Well, I think so. He needs to do magic bat. Oh, here we go. Here comes the. These are the items he needs, but he will need to go back to. Well, he doesn't need to go back to Desert. He needs space jump at Desert, or he needs to hand in the powder.
So he did Gold Chorizo, but I believe he left before finishing the rest of Lower Norfair. Because he found the boots and he's like, well, I'm going to Mire.
I know he tried to go to the rest of Lower Norfair, but then he got hit by that wall where he needed to fly. I think the worst choice he could make, which he may make, is if he takes the hook shot from this right side pod and he goes back to swamp.
Gross.
To see a bunch of unnecessary swamp and a lot of charge beam.
So swamp is a logically required location thanks to that charge beam, but I mean, I know a lot of people who wouldn't bother.
Oh, actually, very good point in chat. Polsky points out that Metroid could use a wall jump, spring ball jump to get up into Lower Norfair, which is a hard logic trick, but I'm sure he knows it.
Well, he's got the hook shot. We'll see what he does from here.
So with no sword right now, he's in hard logic go mode. Just gotta find that sword.
Minus the sword, as you said.
Minus the sword. Oh, he's getting bullied in the bumper room. I always avoid going down here.
We're basically assured those swords are going to be in GT at this point. I mean, not really, but
they're all stuffed away on Laser Bridge, all together.
Gross. You know where I kind of want some of them to be? At like King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks.
Yep, those are good ones. They're too accessible. We need more drama.
Well, they're accessible to one of our runners.
Do you know those armored monsters in Pod, the little Helmosaurs?
The Helmosaurs, yeah.
Did you know you can hit them if you're not looking at them?
Yeah, so basically if you it doesn't matter what part of them you hit, it matters what direction you're facing, I think.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's as long as you and them are facing different ways. Or no, sorry. Facing the same way.
If you're not facing each other.
Yes. This is catfish? Probably catfish check for Elm.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Wow, his timer is... He's getting as frustrated as he is looking for this item.
Yeah, so the space jump was, in fact, in the big chest of Desert Palace. And Metroid just left it.
Yep, he missed that big old chest. I'm excited to see whether or not Metroid has the same idea Solsky does, that using the spring ball to do Lower Norfair once he's done everything else. Elm has been quite far ahead for a long time, though. Just looking at the sheer volume of completion, way more Link to the Past dungeons, way more Super Metroid bosses.
Oh, Elminster's going into the Gold Chorizo area.
This is the nail in the coffin. So right after this,
I mean, he does still have to go to Plasma Beam.
Oh yeah, very true.
Elminster's like, you kidding me right now? Oh, it's just a piece of heart over there at the pre-Gold Chorizo item.
Yep. So yeah, he still needs fire. The race is on. Though, having just cleared out GT for one needed item, he's probably thinking, oh no, those other random one-off places in Super Metroid.
If I were Elminster, I might be heading... well, I'm definitely heading to finish Desert first. And I might be going to check some of those other Boots locked locations. Yes, both runners do have the lamp. They both picked it up directly after the morph ball.
Yep. Lamp and Morphball were sitting in Upper Norfair together, which logically required Ice Beam and Varia, which was a neat combo.
Wasn't it Speed Booster that got you over there?
Speed Booster is a hard logic way to enter there. I don't think it's normal logic to enter Upper Norfair with Speed Booster.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that room is a short charge.
The first room before Cathedral?
I'm pretty sure.
No way. That's not a short charge.
Hmm.
Because I can do it.
You were the test. Yeah, I'm not sure if speed is in logic there, but for sure ice was is in logic there.
Yeah. And Ice Rod strats for Elminster as well, taking down Landmo.
A very strong 2-cycle.
So now Elminster now has 6 crystals, but does not have the ability to access the final dungeon containing the 7th.
Yeah, MetroidMst being in Eastern reminds me when Miss Metroid sent me an image of that skeleton room. The speedrunning community for Link to the Past has a nice image where you just have a very particular line you walk in there and it prevents 2 of the skeletons from spawning.
Yep. So the way... So I didn't learn that trick from the particular image. The way I learned it was sort of based on the theory there. The idea being when you walk toward the middle of the room is when they decide to spawn, and they're all going to spawn around you in 4 cardinal directions.
Oh, okay.
And so the idea is when you do that on top, one of them's going to spawn off screen so it doesn't spawn. The other one's going to spawn on top of the pot in the middle, so it's not going to spawn either. And that's why the 2 don't appear.
I appreciate the background. Now I know why it works.
Now, we did just find the silver arrows over in the Bonk Rocks location.
Elm's got every quality of life and a small dagger of a weapon.
And Elminster now heading into Super Metroid.
Can you feel the fire rod coming? Yep. Feels like fire rod.
Is this the quickest way to Plasma Beam?
Yes.
You mean it's not quicker to go from the Meridia portal?
I don't... It might be similar.
I mean, that I've only ever done it from the Meridia portal, so I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not kidding about this space jump underwater thing.
See how fast it is?
That's ridiculous.
Wait, where is he going now? Oh, yeah, he's doing... Okay. He's going the right way.
Yeah, this is Plasma.
But check out how fast these space jumps are going to be.
I just need to remind myself that that's possible now, because I usually have the hardest time in those rooms with, you know, with the sand waterfalls and things like that, because I'm expecting the space jump to be as slow as it normally is. Turns out I'm making that up.
Yeah, it just saved you some time.
And here we go. Elminster heading to good old plasma beam, and that's gonna get him access for Ice Palace. Still not technical go mode, but close.
I think it's go mode enough. He can get all the way to GT with that. There's no swords there. He'll pop over into Trinex's area.
Yeah, I think you definitely go, you play basically like you're in go mode. You might check certain chests in ice, like this one here. And a few others. You might like skip Ice Tea Room or some other out of the way locations. But
yep.
Yeah, you definitely get ice done as quickly as you can.
Now, if you were still looking for any sword upgrades, would you still be checking all the chests in Ice Palace, or would you go mode Ice Palace?
I'd still probably check that first chest, and since MST found a small key there, I would also check the chest on the right side, because you can just kind of go over once you get to the big spike room. So it looks like Elminster is going out the Meridia portal. You know why? Because it's right next to Ice Palace.
Oh, that routing. Quality routing right there. That's the one spot in the game where you exit that Meridia portal and the whole game's in slow motion.
Yeah, I don't know why that happens.
That's probably a good question for our humble team of people who help look for fixes and improve the randomizer.
All right, Elminster now heading into Ice Palace.
And so, with this kind of pacing for both of them, we can really see the difference with time being mainly that Elm has completed Ridley and Mother Brain and is in roughly the same shape on the Link to the Past side. So that's quite a lead right now that he has.
So Metroid finds some power bombs, but that is not a sword.
I can't wait for Elm to get all the way through GT, still just have a fighter sword.
That would be pretty ridiculous.
Oh, these hammer strats at the puffballs.
Yeah, Cold Stare is no joke, especially when you have to use the hammer.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I've died to Cold Stare in a tournament race recently, but I might have.
I would say that happened to me. Not recently. I think it was 2 tournaments ago. But these things happen.
All right, MetroidMst now taking the hook shot. Going to be heading to the east side of Death Mountain because It's GT time. So I guess we do guessing game here.
We sure do.
And I guess we'll be using MetroidMst's count. So go ahead and put your guesses in chat here for which chest you think the big key is in. There's 22 possible locations, so I would suggest a number between 1 and 22 inclusive. Though we have had numbers outside that range win before. But if you have supported Speed Gaming through either a subscription or a 250-bit donation, you can be added to our leaderboard. Otherwise, feel free to play along. We'll be cutting this off as soon as Metroid enters GT. Oh, wait, is he not going in? So the way 23 won is 22 was the answer and no one put 21. Alright, so now Metroid's heading over to GT. As soon as MetroidMst enters Gan's Tower, we will be cutting off this guessing game. And there we go.
Off we go for a... Well, actually, people could also be guessing what chest they think the sword is in. That'll be fun.
Well, there's a small key for MetroidMst and another small key. So at this point, I wouldn't fault anyone for going right side.
This is a much different situation for each of our runners, though. Finding that fire rod definitely switched up MetroidMst's chances here.
And Elminster also joining us. Whoa, Elminster. What?
Hey, that's a sword. Didn't you know swords are just boomerangs and keys combined?
I'm broken.
Yep. Sometimes when you overlap two games, sprites go crazy.
I'm guessing what caused that was the fact that he actually used the middle door. Because I just don't see people doing that. Bombos in GT. Elminster uses it.
Yep. That would have been very useful a short time ago. But that did mean that that was a required plasma check.
Alright, more power bombs there. Miss T now heading for the Ice Armos.
Unfortunately for Metroid, I think they might be hoping to find a lower Norfair access item down here. Or up here, I guess.
Hey, there's another sword in Bob's chest. Hello.
He's definitely not going to find that lower Norfolk axis in here.
And here we go. Supers, bombs, and the big key. So that is going to be chest number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And who's our lucky winner?
It's Janazeel.
Congratulations.
Elminster using the silver arrows to...
Those were some smooth
off.
Momentum shifts around that room.
Mm-hmm. And Elminster will now be heading directly up Ganon's tower.
Oh, as we're approaching the end of the race, Elm's timer has calmed down. It's looking pretty accurate now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Actually, a very good point in chat. Elm only has 2 arrows. Doesn't he need more arrows? Oh,
Well, I was
there
gonna
are
say,
more
you
arrows.
can pick up 5 right here. There's a few more elsewhere in the gauntlet.
He might be doing a sword for Ganon at this rate.
I mean, at this point, you don't really need that many more arrows.
That's true. And he seems he is using his fire rod instead.
Like, if you're perfect from here, you could do Landmo 2 with silvers and still have enough for Ganon. All right, Elminster. Almost finished with Ganon's Tower, heading through the second Wiz Road room onto the Torch room number 1. And just a little bit more. We've got this wall to take care of. The next room where you can powder some anti-fairies if you want, and pick up a magic refill as well. I probably would at this point if I were Elminster.
Yep. Free magic is good magic.
The Tempered Sword, going to make quick work of Trolldorm 2 here. and some hookshot action. No interest in the contents of the final chest as we move to Aga 2.
Yep. He spent all that time he would have used opening that chest on using that Bombos medallion. So, priorities.
Right. I mean, the Bombos medallion was a statement that needed to be made. Speaking of Bombos medallion, MetroidMst is going to use that on the Blue Zazak room, which is basically the worst room in the gauntlet.
Yep. Ooh, nice.
Nice double with that blue ball situation.
He's having a good time at the Geometry Wizard.
And there we go. Elminster finishing off Aga 2. And it's just about to be Ganon time. And with Elminster having already finished Mother Brain, this will end the game as soon as Elminster steps across the threshold into the Triforce room. You don't
with his kit,
often see Ganon second. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying with his kit, this will not be too much of a problem for him. Yeah, Ganon second is less common. Most of the time because folks want to find good items for Super Metroid in that tower.
That and once you finish Ganon, you can literally save and quit, reset the game, be on top of the ship for a refill, and just go.
These 3 hearts is kind of spooky.
Once we're in phase 3, though, as long as you're reasonably careful, you should be fine. Especially if you're the kind of, the caliber of player that Elminster is.
And there we go. One more hit. Wait, thought he got a double the first time.
Not quite. None of the times he's been there has he actually been in position to get a double, unfortunately.
So
but there we go.
GG. Elm going to finish with a time of... oh my gosh, that timer. 7 hours, 64 minutes, and 5 seconds. No, there it goes. When he stopped at 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 5 seconds.
Well played to Elminster.
With an official time of 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 7 seconds.
All right, then. And that was the last race of the week. The next thing we will know is what the pairings are for next week. And apparently we're supposed to play each other. Is that the deal?
I think that's what Maniacal was saying. And I trust his Swiss bracket math.
Yay?
Yay, question mark?
I'm sure you'll destroy me all over Super Metroid. It'll be great. Anyways.
Just as soon as I finish destroying myself in the race. Okay, let's take a look. No, you are up against Fusion Warrior.
Ah, interesting.
I am up against MetroidMst.
All right, then. Well, here is... Okay, so with Elminster finishing, we'll see if we can get him in here for an interview.
Nice 3 from MetroidMst there. Welcome, Elm. How you doing? How'd you feel?
Oh man, both seeds I played today were just what the hell.
Yep. Yeah, we were waiting for a while to see when you'd go back for the boots and the fire rod.
The reason I didn't go back to GT for a long time is I was thinking about Like there's the one space jump blocked item there, and I knew I had sequence broken space jump, and I was supposed to have the boots for them, so that's why I ended up putting that off. And then eventually I was just like, wait, what if the boots are at the other spot?
And they were. Yeah, what held Metroid back was he took quite a bit longer to find Morph. He ended up doing every possible check before going there. And he didn't sequence break space jump, so he had to get there with his speed booster.
Right, space jump helped a lot with that, and I was trying to be careful with it because I knew I wasn't supposed to have it. But yeah, speed booster to get there. That was a crazy morph location. I felt like I was behind getting it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, both of you took a while to get there. I think ice was technically the logical way to get it.
Ice or speed, either one, I think.
Yeah, I pulled up challenge. Let's see, you're fighting against... Are you up against Maniacal next week? That's what I was hearing. Yes, it's you versus Maniacal next week.
Nice. The 6th time that we get to race in a tournament.
It's a small community.
Yeah, that was a bit of a race, wasn't it? So, both of the, the items that you were missing there at the end, MST found significantly earlier. But of course, MST for some reason skipped the big chest of desert.
Yeah.
Was he in go mode at the time, or like minus the sword, I guess?
No, he put off pod in Eastern for about an hour and a half.
Pod in Eastern, so he didn't have hookshot and he didn't have ether.
Yeah. No,
he did have ether because he
broke ether. Yeah.
He dipped Eastern itself way early,
he
but not
it
pod.
Early. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was. I feel like the routing with that was such a mess, just everywhere. Like, most of the stuff I did wasn't really bad, and I don't know. Plasma was a good... Like, I don't really regret last locationing Plasma that much, because at the time I was going through Meridia, I was kind of juggling like a few different things, and I didn't want to waste too much time in any one area. I still had properly going through Brinstar to do. Stuff could have been anywhere.
Yeah,
and that makes plenty of sense.
That was what held up MetroidMst as well, because he did have a chance to take it if he made the right decisions, but he was following you to all of those big areas to check.
Well, so, like, what was his go mode item besides the sword?
Well, I mean, I think he's looking for space jump or something to get him into
Is
lower
he
Norfair.
looking for that for worst room in the game?
He got hookshot last before that. But yeah, he could definitely be using his spring ball to do lower Norfair. He hasn't gone there yet.
Why is... Oh, so he has spring ball. What? You should know how to do that.
He went to GT to grab some of that stuff, but you found high jump boots, morph bombs, and space jump all outside of GT, so...
Yeah, I found all of those like after I did pretty much everything in SM.
That's a big G in chat for MST. Taking out Ganon.
G stands for Gan. Oh no, is he doing Swamp? Is he about to do Swamp?
Oh, if he does Swamp, he'll get Charge Beam and I'll be able to freeze the pirates.
Okay, there's that.
Which is pretty funny because that can be logically required in hard now.
Could it not before? I feel like it was always supposed to be a thing.
I think it was new in 10.
Yeah, I think it might have just been an oversight before. Yeah.
Well, he's heading over to Gold Chorizo, so...
I guess it can't be logically required in normal. That would be a bit asking a bit much.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight jump, and those pirates have really, really weird collision boxes.
So did you like me trying to speed fall to the old mother brain missiles for like 4 minutes?
That was a interesting display.
I think Maniacal was saying that like after you get blue suit, you just down back and fall through there, but that sounds so hard.
Yeah, it's not easy. My short charges are really off today too. I had a lot of trouble for whatever reason. I think just like 6+ hours of playing this has fried my brain.
Yeah, for context, everybody, before this was our hard difficulty weekly at 3 Eastern, and we finished that at what, like 7 Eastern, and then you started this race at 7:15 Eastern?
Yeah, let's see. I finished my time in that race was actually, I think I also got a 3:14 in that race.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You were 10 minutes behind.
I got pretty much the same time in both races. Oh my god.
Regardless of the difficulty.
Alright,
oh
MST
man.
doing the spring ball jump. Trying to, anyway.
Bombs were in a weird spot. High jump was in a weird spot.
Where were the bombs again?
They were in Hera basement.
Right here, basement.
Oh, he had it. He just didn't hold jump. It always surprises me how far out this goes when you do this technique.
Yeah, it's a huge contrast to when you're just doing it vertically, like in Meridia. It's also because when you don't have spring ball, and you do a wall jump instamorph.
Yeah, there's like kick of momentum.
Yeah, you kind of go flying, and that actually doesn't happen when you have spring ball on. Like if you have spring ball on and you do a wall jump instamorph, you retain complete control of the ball, and you'll stop moving as soon as you let go of the D-pad, and you won't get like the force, like you won't get flung off the wall basically. But if you don't have spring ball, then you just go flying.
This is like really, really specific Super Metroid knowledge. Very good to know.
Well, that's week 1 down for you, Elminster. What are you looking forward to next week?
Other than facing Maniacal again.
I mean, I'm looking forward to that race, to be honest.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Seems like it's gonna be pretty great.
Yeah, so we're let's see. I'm up 3-2 against him in tournament races at this point. Pulling ahead when I faced him in bracket for the second time in the TGRC tournament.
For a bit there, MST was going for the very, very frame perfect or pixel perfect wall jump here. Yeah, so the trick with the spring ball jump is, I think you have to have put the spring ball, you leave the spring ball off, you do the morph, and then while you're still going up, you have to take off the spring, or put on the spring ball and do another jump, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't actually check to see whether or not it should take away your ability to spring ball jump till you're going down.
Do you need to be holding the jump button? No, you don't. You jump after you unpause. That's it.
So I think if you let go of the jump button during like the wall jump instamorph, you stop. You stop rising really soon after that. Like if it's not a full hold of the jump button.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Oh, there we go. MST gets it. What I'm saying is you can't like buffer the jump after the pause. Is what I'm saying.
Oh no, you actually you kind of buffer the you can buffer the jump during the fade out in the fade out. Yeah, like you unpause after you equip Spring Ball, and then like you wait for the screen to go fully black, and then you can hold.
Okay.
The jump button, but that's not really useful if you're trying to do a spring ball jump to get around a ledge like this. It's mostly useful if you want to get maximum height, like in Suitless Meridia. For this, you want to time the jump press, like when you visually see that the ball has gone far enough to the side.
Very interesting.
But yeah, there's a really large window that you can do it in.
Better than trying to do those doing those underwater without high jump boots. That window is pretty tight.
Yeah, it is. I think because you stop ascending earlier. I think.
All right, Metroid now in the Metal Pirates room, heading toward Ridley. Then all that's left after this is getting out of here and destroying a giant brain. So yeah, Elminster, well played, good job. You're welcome to hang around if you want, but if you'd rather go do something else, we're certainly not going to hold you here. Thanks for joining us.
I might hang around for a little bit.
All right then.
Yeah. I think MetroidMst will be joining us in not that long.
We'll see about that.
From what I can tell, MetroidMst may not be the kind of person who likes to do interviews, but we'll see.
Oh, he better do an interview.
Not even bothering checking the item, which is perfectly reasonable. Best part of the race was Elm using bombos. Yeah, I believe it.
I thought people might enjoy that. I was like, I kind of sort of wanted to see Bombos at some point. Like I would have preferred to see Bombos rather than Fire Rod, if it came before Boots, because I didn't want to have to dive T-Rock further looking for Boots. It didn't really matter in the end.
All right, MST going for a save here, which I certainly wouldn't blame anyone for. But this reset is not going to do what you want it to.
Is he actually? That does not work like that.
You're just going to be exactly where you were.
He must think this is Revolution EX. He'll get what that means.
I'm sure he will. Yeah, so I've seen a couple of people actually take the reverse route out of Ridley and head back through the giant lava room there back toward Golterizo, which is kind of strange, but it's apparently a little faster if you can do the green gate glitch.
Yeah, I actually never thought to do that myself. Somebody pointed it out the other day.
Now, of course, if you're still looking for items, then yeah, you're coming back up this way because there's stuff to find. But
oh yeah, the fairies in Meyer basement.
that was fun.
Yeah, that's the first time pretty much anybody had seen anybody fight that boss like that. Just keep dying and swinging that hammer.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I was going down to the basement and I realized, oh crap, I only have 8 arrows. I didn't think this through. And I was like, okay, well I have bug net.
It's just
when you were in front of those
damage, it's beautiful.
Those blocks that drop down, and that fairy was just baiting you, like that fairy RNG where it just never came close enough.
Like I thought it could go through walls, but maybe it can't go through walls in a dungeon. Maybe that's only overworld.
I actually feel like it was just trolling you.
I don't know. Like it was stuck in that corner for a long time. I don't know.
All right, so MetroidMst has in fact managed to make it back into Zelda. There's a save and quit, and now we're gonna see a reset. Or not. See, now a reset would work.
I think he doesn't trust it now.
See, now you've got me taking notes, because I think I have to go up against MetroidMst in the races next week.
Alright, so we're getting the refill here at the ship. That'll get us plenty of super missiles. Good lord, that's a lot of super missiles. I think with 70, I would finally actually feel comfortable. Alright, MetroidMst finally making his way toward Turian. Of course, this way locked until you beat those 4 bosses. Common knowledge, but for those of you who might be seeing this for the first time, that statue's in your way otherwise. So the Ice Beam Super Missile strats here for the Metroids. Super Missile takes them down pretty quick, and they're likely to drop some, so you're not really losing out here.
Actually, there was a funny moment where you were entering Swamp Elm, and I was like, just for you know what's gonna happen here? He's gonna find Charge Beam in Swamp. That's what's gonna happen, and that's it. And you walked in, you found Charge Beam. It's like commentator curse right there.
What I had to do there, actually, NDS, is I had to refresh my stream because I thought it was behind. Like,
Oh.
like I saw it and I was like, wait, am I behind? Did he just
No.
call that? But
Just
no, he
say-
literally just called it.
Well, I was thinking like the only other place it could have been really was like Turtle Rock. At that point, I think.
Yeah, I think the morph ball being where it was just kind of a giant slap in the face.
It was better than it being in Red Tower.
Yeah, that we did work out that it could have been there. It's kind of a pain to get there.
I found Space Jump and I was just like, okay, well, that can't be the item that opens that up. And then I found Ice Beam, and I was like, oh.
Uh-oh. Morph Ball was at the gate before Wave Beam. And then Lamp was at Wave Beam, which is hilarious. MST is going to go ahead and save here as well. Just because, I mean, at this point, why not? Save some potential mishaps later. Alright, trying to set up the Zeb skip. So let me see if I'm saying this correctly, and you guys can correct me. So the way the Zeb skip works, you freeze the Rinka in the very first spot, you take damage from the other Rinka, or like the shot from the ceiling or something, and then you do like a spin jump off of it, and it'll just kind of let you go through.
Yeah. I can't do that spin jump version. I just do a down back. Whatever I can do to put myself on the Rinka.
I can't believe you do the down back.
That's
What
the
is
one I
it?
know. The other one is like unknowable to me. I can't do it.
That's
So can someone explain to me what exactly is meant by a down back, and is it a one frame input like I think it is?
no, it's not. A down back is if you're in a falling state. That is to say, you didn't initiate a jump yourself, but you walked off a ledge or morphed and unmorphed. If you're in a falling state and you hold down and then hold like a quarter circle backward, the game will actually
Move you forward.
yeah, it'll push you forward while falling.
Which is unintuitive, but kind of cool. Like you hold down and backwards and you go forward.
The main thing is that you're actually moving forward with the aim down hitbox, which is one of Samus's smallest hitboxes. So it's a good technique for weaving between platforms, but it's very unintuitive because you hold the opposite direction that you're going.
That explains it.
Yeah, so the down back for the Zebutite skip in particular, the way the Zebutite skip with ice works is when you freeze the Rinka, so basically enemies that are either frozen or solid get priority for collision. So if you freeze the Rinka at its origin point, and you can like if you spin jump at it, or you even down back at it from having iframes, then you basically land on the Rinka instead of on the platform, because the Rinka is an enemy and it's getting priority for collision, and that actually puts you a little bit inside the Zebutite. The Zebutite is also an enemy. It's solid on the outside, but pretty much all enemies, if you manage to get inside their hitboxes, even if they're solid on the outside, you can just go through as much of the inside as you want. So basically, you land on the Rinka, which puts you a little bit inside the Zebetite, so you can jump up and then run through it.
Oh, okay. So you're just using the Rinka to get past the outer shell of the Zebetite.
Yep.
And so, you think it's funny that I don't know the regular version, but I know the downback?
Yeah, the downback is just... It's a lot harder and more precise. At least I think so. Most people think so. I don't understand how to do it.
Basically, what I do is I freeze it by jumping. I jump in the room, land there, aim down, freeze it, and I'm right against the wall. And I just stay there aiming down, and something will hit me, and I just down back in place, and it worked. I like made that up just because I couldn't figure out how to do it myself watching the videos. Which is slower. Like you're supposed to like jump up at something and get the down back, but
right, you're supposed to jump up and then get hit. That's where your iframes come from, and then you down back and shoot the Rinka as you're falling down onto it.
Yeah, which is I just kind of isolated everything, I guess. I do the freezing and then I wait for something to hit me and then go through.
So either one of those tricks is going to require the frozen enemy. Though I believe there's another version that doesn't, involving the Shine Spark.
Yeah. Okay. So the block that's in like the center of the cross, like you know how the structures like that jut out above and below the Zebetites, they form like cross formations, like a T,
right,
or a plus. Okay. So the center block of that is actually a slope tile, and slope tiles are different from actually solid tiles in that they push Samus out of their. They actively push Samus out of their boundaries. That's how like you. That's basically how when you Shine Spark like along a slope, you're normally not supposed to hit the Shine Spark. You're not supposed to stub your toe on a slope tile, things like that. It's a function of how they push you out of their boundary. So,
all right,
you exploit that to get through.
Yeah, it basically sucks you in, and then you can jump through the Zebetite.
All right,
so time of 3:43:15.
Yeah, MetroidMst has finished, and it does look like he is joining us in the interview. Hello, congratulations on finishing.
Thank you, and good game, Elm.
GG.
I was hoping the curse would last, but apparently it didn't.
I mean, I think it backfired because I missed Boots and Fire Rod, and that caused me to check basically everything else and get the items that you were missing. Actually, no, wait. I didn't need those items because I stole the key in Desert, so I had Space Jump really early.
Okay, so we need to know why did you skip the big chest of Desert?
I completely forgot about it. I know I went back there, I got the big key out of the chest that I mirrored, and like, oh yeah, big key, chest, boss, done. Well, forget the chest. And that was apparently a big whoops, because that's one of the items I was looking for all over Super
You were
Mario.
looking for Space Jump or like
high jump or bombs.
High jump or bombs, yeah.
So
high jump was at Magic Bat, and the bombs were in the basement of Hera.
Yeah, I wasn't going back there.
That spring ball jump ended up being like your best option after missing it.
Yeah, it was. When I first went down there, did the gravity jump up there. I'm like, oh hey, I can go explore things. I got the boots. I was feeling really good. Did Mire Desert. Should have got Space Jump right there, but whatever. And I went back because I'm like, I can just finish up early right now. And it's like, wait.
Yeah, we saw you go right up to that door. You had a couple wiggles, and you're like, oh, well, going back, no.
Yeah, I remembered. I think at that point I didn't have Spring Ball. So my only option at that point was a double frame perfect setup thing, which I've never actually done. So. Oh
yeah, that's dumb. Ossie's good at that jump.
I am not. So yeah, that missing Space Jump there was kind of a pain. But actually, was the most annoying part was Morph Ball though. I did not for some reason, I thought when I finally got back in that area, I was out of logic, and I don't know why I was thinking that.
As soon as you had Varia and Ice Beam, Morph was in logic where it was.
Yeah, and I'm just...
Yeah,
I was like,
so-
well, I don't know where it is, so I'm going to dip Turtle Rock. I'm going to...
As we were heading in there, actually, Diaz was telling me, so Wave Beam is not in logic because you need the Morph Ball, but just outside Wave Beam...
Yeah.
What's funny is that I had Space Jump there, so I knew Wave Beam itself was out of logic, but I was going to be able to check it anyways.
Yep. Yeah, because then you can get out and do the gate glitch. I was actually just explaining that when you were like, ta-da!
Oh wait, no, never mind. You're not supposed to be forced to gate glitch out. I would have needed to have Wave and logic to be able to do that. Never mind.
But you could have stolen that item.
So yeah, that was a interesting seed.
It was very, I felt it was very unconventional the whole way through.
Yeah, I trusted the game to give me the swords in Ganon's Tower. I did not trust it to give me any of the other items, but I went through and basically full cleared Ganon's Tower because I was looking for one of them before I went back to Lower Norfair.
Actually, I'm told that those items actually can't be in Ganon's Tower in this version of the game.
That's right, because they're progressed. Yeah.
Well, if they're required. If they're not required for the particular seed, like if Space Jump is out, then Morph Bombs could be in the tower.
Oh,
for example.
So they still could have had something in there.
Yeah, like if the way that the seed logically decided it wanted you to beat it, doesn't use those items, they can be in GT.
Yeah, so there has to be, the idea being that there has to be some way to defeat all 4 bosses of Super Metroid outside of Ganon's Tower. Not every single way.
Right. Yeah, I had some mental brain farts with logic throughout this. But it was a very fun seed. I'm looking at the trackers right now. I see a big difference between what we found. There's a high jump, space jump, charge beam.
Yeah, charge beam was
Extra
in
palace
Swamp.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
That explains Swamp.
We thought you were about to go into Swamp there at the end when you flew to 7. Turns out you were just flying to 7 instead of 6.
Yeah, so as it turns out, I was going to dip Swamp much earlier, but then I realized I don't have the flippers.
Yeah, that's
I
a
had
little bit of a
fake
problem.
flipper or whatever, so I'm like, yeah, I can swim. It's like, wait. Now that I'm here, how am I doing this?
Did you get the flippers?
Yeah, they were at the back of Wreck Ship.
Yeah.
I didn't need them. I could have fake flippered to Ice Palace, but I was there and I didn't save, so I couldn't reset.
Speaking of Wreck Ship, I know the other day I went into Wreck Ship doing the path that you did from the back, and I was surprised to note that the item in that location is not there until you beat Fantoon.
There's only one item in the ship that's there. It's not that one. But no, that was actually, I'm honestly surprised I kept it that close. It was barely within a half hour, but that was my goal to start, so I'm pretty happy with that.
It helped that I did literally everything.
Yeah, that was the rough part for Elm, because he missed the boots, and then he full cleared both games looking for them.
Yeah, I last location Fire Rod as well.
There was a point when he was 5 dungeons ahead, but you closed the gap. That's what counts.
Yeah, the dungeons I wasn't actually that worried about, because
they were quick.
Eastern Pod, you can combo that really quick. Ice was right there, so that was 3. And then Mire and Desert just happened to work out really well, because I got the boots right at GT. And it's like, oh right, Desert was boots locked.
If only, though, you had done Pod a little earlier to got that hook shot.
Yeah, I could have done the potion glitch, but I was like, I don't feel like that, so I'll just not bother.
I used my potion on refilling my magic bar so I could kill the mini Moldworm cave with Ice Rod. So I didn't have my potion when I went to Pod. And I didn't have the big key. I figured it was right side, so I decided I wasn't going to do Dark Maze without it. So yeah, I didn't get hookshot the first time I went there, and I was just like, really? When I went back there and saw it.
Yeah,
Yep, that's what the bomb was for, right?
I was,
I didn't expect Croc to pay out as well as it did either. That was
Croc.
Croc was pretty good.
Yeah, I went there because I was like very on the fence about going there. But I was like, I felt things were kind of dry.
Yeah, Gravity Suit and Bow, I believe, were both over there at Crocomire.
Yeah,
Pretty
I didn't
ridiculous.
even want to chase Gravity for a while because Meridia is just like, it's a decently large area.
Yep.
It's a little spread out, and there's a bunch of like save and quit shenanigans you need to do.
Yeah. I went through the
probably-
front of it mostly because I was like, I still don't have a sword, and I'm not looking for that many items on the way to Dragon, but it'd be nice if I gave myself a better chance to find a sword, and going in the back door is kind of annoying.
And at least nobody found the grapple beam, so no chance of Shaq Tool.
Could have
Yeah.
ice clipped, but that's not my favorite thing to do there.
Yeah, it's also not in logic. If yeah, so grapple is probably like in GT Big Chest or Turtle Rock or something.
All right, so we probably need to wrap things up here, but anything else you guys would like to say before we wrap it up?
I had one thing. Yeah, how does it feel losing to Riff Raff?
Oh no.
So Dad may have to change his opinion now. I don't know. So it's okay. Whoever I've got next, I'm sure Dad will say something about them too.
It's me.
No.
Yeah, you and I have to fight next week, Metroid. That's all I wanted to say. See you next week.
Oh boy.
All right, I want to thank both of our runners, Elminster and MetroidMst, for putting on an excellent show. And of course, to our tracker, Rob Spewak, for keeping all those items on board. And of course, my co-commentator, N. Diaz, thank you so much for joining me today.
Have a good night, everybody.
And we will see you later, everybody. Good night.